Ariel Helwani in Tokyo for UFC 144 alongside Jake Shields, who meets Yoshihiro Akiyama this Saturday night live on pay-per-view. And Jake, it's good to see you again, and thank you very much for the time. You haven't fought here in 5 or so years. What's it like being back?
6, 7, something like that. I think a while. It's really cool. You know, this is Japan's the spot where I really started kicking off my career. So it's cool to be back here, and I really need to revive my career right now. And hopefully this is where I restart it back off.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because obviously you're coming off the 2 straight losses. Do you take that mindset into a fight like this, where this is sort of the humble beginnings of your career, and you could sort of, leave America and come back here and really focus on the fight?
Yeah, kind of. You really can't. I'm really trying to not really dwell too much on the past. Just trying to move forwards, and I hit the biggest rough patch in my career really ever, and I just need to. I feel really confident though. My sparring's been going amazing. The camp's gone great, and I just want to go out there and put this behind me and start 2012 off right.
How have you dealt with that rough patch? Obviously, it came at a very tough personal time for you as well. Mentally, how have you dealt with it?
It was a tough time, losing my dad and fight, and it was a tough time for my life, and I was a little shook up for a minute, depressed for a couple months, but I'm really fortunate to have a great group of friends and training partner behind me, and I got back into training again and started feeling good and slowly built my confidence back, and now I feel, the way this training camp's gone, I just feel amazing. I want to go out there and start this new year off right.
In hindsight, do you regret taking the fight against Jake, considering what had happened?
It sucks that I lost, but I can't really say I regret it. I went out there not really knowing what was happen. You can't when you make these decisions, you gotta live with them, and that was a decision I felt was right at the time, and it didn't turn out my way, but it is what it is.
How much time did you take away from the sport after that fight?
I probably completely took a few weeks off, but then I was back in the gym just lightly after that. But I was the first month or two back in the gym, I really was not training good. My body wasn't reacting right. I'm not really sure why. I just felt like my body had kind of shut down. I was having a hard time getting back in the groove of things, and then it just started clicking all of a sudden, and then I just kind of shot. I feel like I've shot levels past where I've ever been in the last couple months. My body and my technique and everything's just kind of stepped to a new level.
And out of curiosity, around that time, Nick did very well in the UFC, Nate did very well. Obviously, Gilbert was doing great things. Yeah. Did those guys and their performances help motivate you to get back in there?
I never really thought about it, but I'm sure it did. I think I'm really fortunate to have such a great team, and not only my teammates, they're also my really good friends. We motivate each other, so having them do good and helping them train, it kind of pushes us all up to new levels. So.
Did you want to come back in February, or did the UFC ask you to come back because Akiyama was a big fight here and whatnot?
I had my manager call UFC, and I just kind of asked them. I kind of let them know that I wanted to fight pretty soon, and they originally offered me a fight on UFC Brazil, but I didn't feel quite ready because I just started my hard training again. So I said, "Is there anything a little later?" And they go, "How about how about Akiyama in Japan?" Which Akiyama wasn't a fight I was really expecting because he's an 85-pounder, but I was said sure, accepted it right away, and I got excited about it.
What have you thought of his UFC run thus far? Everyone has been saying for a while that they think he should have moved down earlier, and he's had some tough fights. He came out on the losing end. He needs to really revive his career as well. What have you thought of what he's done out there?
I thought he's looked. I don't think he's looked bad. He's come off losses, but good, close fights with Bisping and Lieben. He got caught by Vitor, but I still think he's a good fighter. Even though he's coming off losses, he's still someone who's dangerous. He's got a really good right hand and a pretty good lead hook.
He's doing this weight cut for the first time as an MMA fighter. Do you expect that to affect him come fight night?
You really just don't know what it's going to do. It could affect him positively or negatively. Cutting the weight, maybe he's going to do a lot of running. He might come in better shape, or he could cut it wrong and be weak. I just don't know. I'm expecting him to come in his best.
What do you see as far as his biggest weakness? What is his weakness that you're going to try to exploit on Saturday?
I think he's a pretty good, tough, well-rounded fighter. His biggest weakness in the past been he's shown to get a little tired before, but dropping the weight might could either make that worse or better. So it's hard. I'm not really counting on that, but he's had that, and he's been submitted before, so he has some holes in his actual submission game. So.
And this fight is actually taking place Sunday morning here in Japan. How are you adapting to that, and what will you do in the days leading up to the fight in order to not be tired come fight day?
I'm definitely a late night person, so I love fighting at night. So what I'm doing is I'm just staying on the schedule of going to bed really early and getting up really early. So I have a tendency of staying awake till 2, 3 in the morning. So I'm trying to make sure to be in bed by 10 every night and wake up around 6. So hopefully I'll be able to stay on that schedule.
Has that been hard for you?
It was my first day here, so last night I was able to get to bed by about 11, woke up about 7, so it was only an hour off what I planned, so it's pretty good.
All right, well, good luck on Saturday night. Great to see you back, and we look forward to the fight.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Jake.